You are on the frequency of truth to hear the message I am about to share. So here is what you have went through, and let me know if this is familiar, right? So what you've done is you have uncovered everything that you are supposed to be doing in your life. Before that, you are not going in that direction. You are self-sabotaging, you are neglecting your genuine desires, you are being too much of a people pleaser maybe, and I am familiar with that myself. But what has happened is that recently you went through awakening. You experienced what it is like to acknowledge the truth to your own self, to accept it as if it's important, as if it is relevant, and to move in the direction of your desires. So for that, I just want to congratulate you, my friend. And not only that, but I want you to experience what it is like to live in truth consistently and on a daily basis. What would it be like if you were to ground it in your relationships, to ground it in your career, and to make it a relevant part of your journey? So that's why I want you to join me in this conversation, and I want to share a little bit about the power of truth if you were to start acknowledging it to yourself. And yes, I know this video might be a little strange, a different setting, right? There is the forest behind me, and my girlfriend actually is on the other side of the camera shooting, helping me with that. So here are some of the main challenges I believe you faced on your journey before you started acknowledging and believing in the truth that you know is true for you, but instead of repressing it, right, which is something that you did for quite a lot of time, you started expressing it. And the first challenge is simply this form of repression. Knowing what doesn't feel okay, knowing what are your boundaries in your relationships, in your social circle, and then neglecting all of those intuitive impulses, not taking them seriously, not acting upon them. And what you have experienced, because you did that again and again and again and again in the past, is that you are simply not being yourself, right? You knew what the truth was, but you are not willing to act upon it. You are not willing to admit it. You are not willing to acknowledge it. And this, quite recently actually, and this is why I want to congratulate you, because this is the moment of awakening. Quite recently, you decided to drop that bullshit, okay? You decided to make your truth more important to the opinion of others. Before that, the opinion of others were important, and you were people pleasing, you are making a lot of compromises, and at this stage you've reached a point in your life where you don't see a reason to continue going that way like you did before. So you have overcome the challenge, and this is why I want to congratulate you. There is another challenge that you have faced and you have also overcome, which is the challenge of escapism, right? It's like you know who you want to be surrounded with, the people that you want to be in your life, the high vibe tribe that you want to spend your time with, how you want your relationship to your family to look like. And you have went through this isolation phase in which for quite a while, for quite some time, you decided to just be by yourself, to experience what it is like to be lonely, and not only to be lonely, but to enjoy your loneliness. And you have acknowledged and admitted that truth to yourself, that I need time for myself. I'm tired of people pleasing. I'm tired of making other people more important than myself, my own truth. And I have taken the time to look within and to heal and to make myself the center of my world. Because am I not the center of my world? Am I not the center of reality around which everything resolves, right? So you've went through that stage of escapism and you have surpassed it. You are now in this stage of expression, right? You have started expressing who you are in front of people, and this is where the power of truth comes. And I'll reach the main point in one moment. But you have started expressing your opinions, you have started expressing your feelings, you decided to stop silencing yourself, to make your words and your truth important, even if it hurts some people. And this is fine, it's totally fine, because you understand not everybody is supposed to be in your life. And if some of the people who are in your life were letting you suppress yourself, letting you play a smaller version of yourself, and you have decided to speak up your truth, even if that triggers them, well, Congratulations! You don't know what huge of a shift you have made, because the moment that decision is grounded, right? Which means that you're speaking up, even if that hurts some people, but you decide to courageously and continuously do so. Eventually, this leads to the point where you're willing to understand the power of truth to such an extent that everything that was once a roadblock in your life, that was triggering you, every way in which you were self-sabotaging, and if you still do, that's fine, it's totally fine. But you understand that now that I know what the power of truth is, now that I know how to express it to others, I can take that power of truth and acknowledge everything, literally everything that I have been repressing, suppressing, escaping, or not willing to admit. The worst of the worst, my biggest fears, my biggest traumas, my biggest worries, my most genuine desires that are coming from the Creator, all of it, I have decided to acknowledge it to myself. And the moment I do that, right, this is a decision that you are most likely reaching, you have reached, or you are right now seeing it as the next step if you're watching this video. So this decision that your truth holds power, and the more of your truth you acknowledge back to yourself, your own feelings, this is actually how you work with the loving and caring archetype of the loving mother. By acknowledging the truth you hold dear to heart, you know is relevant for you, you know intuitively that is important for you, by acknowledging it to your heart. And again, here I mean the worst of the worst. If you're afraid of other people's opinion, you acknowledge that to yourself in the form of, yes, I have been afraid of what other people will think, but I'm not letting that to stop me to be who I want to be. Okay, this is what it means to acknowledge the truth. You don't hide it. You're not willing to repress it. You're not willing to neglect like you did before. Because you have overcome that challenge, now you're willing to admit, acknowledge all of that to yourself. And with every single acknowledgement, you get more of your power. You give more of your power that you have given away. You claim it back to yourself. And this is how you become a creator. A creator takes responsibility of everything in his life, every single aspect of his life. It starts from your relationship, it goes to your community, career, how you're serving people, and then it goes even further. So this was my message for me today, and I just want to acknowledge you. I just want to encourage you even further. Keep speaking the truth. Keep telling and acknowledging the truth to yourself. You do not understand the power this has. And the more you do it, the more of that power will come back to you. And you know that this is not your own power, right? This is the power of the Creator speaking through you. So it's like you're becoming an open channel. And that channel is in the benefit of everybody. So my friend, take your truth. Hear this message. Accept it as your own. And see what is possible if you start expressing it to everybody who needs to hear what you're willing to share, and admitting and acknowledging everything that you know you're afraid of, worried of, but instead of running away from it, you acknowledge it back to your feelings. See the letting go, the surrender that's possible, and the faith and trust that you're able to experience. This has been my message. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around in the next video. Bye bye, enjoy your day.